Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone and today I'm bringing you some news for Coral Island. We're going to be talking about Coral Island on console, pricing for early access, the NDA, and more. So let's just get right into it. So Coral Island posted a new update on their Kickstarter to highlight the early access release date trailer. This post was also complete with an FAQ section, so I just wanted to go through all of these frequently asked questions with all of you and maybe add a little bit of extra information as well. So the first question is about the pre-order store. They don't have any news currently on when the pre-order store will be open again. To expand on this answer, we do know that it will be open sometime before early access, and they will make an announcement when they can share more. We're not exactly sure what this pre-order store is going to look like. In my mind, I was thinking it would just be their backer kit store reopened, where you were able to pre-purchase the game, but it could also be a pre-order option on Steam, or maybe even through Humble Games, because you can wishlist the game on Humble, and ultimately you will be able to purchase it through Humble Games, which is a really nice way of doing it because then the team will get a bigger portion of their revenue. When is it available to stream and or share gameplay in any form? And all they've said is that they'll have more to share on this soon. I don't know how soon that means, but I'm hoping sometime in the next month or so. If early access is releasing on October 11th this year, then it's somewhat likely that the NDA may lift up to a month in advance. So sometime in September, likely when they're doing the polishing phase. I mean, I would take sooner, I don't mind, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. I'm definitely looking forward to that though, obviously, so I can share some of the gameplay with you all before early access. A lot of people have been asking about the price. They've made a statement that nothing is set in stone price-wise, but they have been eyeing the $20 mark for the initial early access price, and then incrementally increasing the price each time a big content update is pushed. And then the final game price will just depend on what features they actually end up completing and pushing out. If you are able to purchase that early access at around the $20 mark and you're interested in playing the game that early, I would definitely recommend doing so. I mean, you could even purchase the game and then come back to it later if you wanted to wait for more content updates. Hopefully that helps. I know a lot of you are saving up your money for this game. And then the final portion of this FAQ before we move on to the console news is the proposed timeline. So this actually kind of ties into the console news as well, but for me personally, there is some confusion with this timeline. The early access launch itself, crystal clear. We know it's October 11th, we've got it, we're good, we're excited. Here is where I get a little bit confused. Console and Switch ports are to be determined, but here it's saying 2022, 2023 after early access. So I'm thinking they mean that they're working on it in 2022 and 2023, and that maybe they'll be able to share more news on it later this year, but I definitely don't think any console or Switch version will be coming out in 2022. I think it's definitely going to be 2023. I mean, they've said themselves on the Discord that the console versions will be coming after the PC full version is released. And what they've said is that the full 1.0 version will be coming in 2023. So there's just no way that console version is coming out before then. They're not doing an early access for console. It's exclusive to PC. So I'm thinking that just means that they're going to be working on it in 2022, or they mean that it's coming in 2023 after the early access in 2022. So if this caused you any confusion, I'm with you, and I'm sorry if you got your hopes up for an earlier console release. Definitely set your sights on 2023 if you're wanting to play this on, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. And since we're talking about console, we're actually going to segue into an Xbox discussion, which is a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I am not an Xbox gamer. I am Switch, PlayStation, and PC. I'm like everything but. But today on Twitter, Xbox shared a post that was made by their indie branch, so it's ID at Xbox, which is a program that celebrates and promotes independent games that come to Xbox. They actually shared a highlight reel of some of the upcoming independent games that are coming out all around the world, and Coral Island was actually included in this montage. There's about 5 seconds of clips. We've seen all them before. However, this one is actually pretty cool because we get to see this shot here, further zoomed back. So we get to see this waterfall waterfall and this bridge, these mountains. So this was kind of nice to see. This was a little bit different, and I really liked the editing style in this video. So there's some like dramatic zooms and stuff that looked really cool for Coral Island, and the music was really good. It was literally like 3 seconds of clips that they showed off. The zoom in on the crab is so extra. I love it though, it's so cute. But it was really nice to see that they were included in this little presentation. And there's also a write-up on IGN Southeast Asia about this program, because I had never heard of this before. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with Xbox, but essentially this program is an opportunity for indie games around the world to receive funding and management support from Microsoft themselves. So it allows indie developers to make their games available on Xbox platforms, which is really nice that they have that. I think that's really important, and I love the focus around indie games these days. I think it's amazing and so well deserved. So it seems that Coral Island has actually been chosen to be a part of this new wave of games, according to this article. And so they just did a little write-up about Coral Island, which I always love to see. You know, the more publicity it gets, the better. And at the end of the article, there's an interesting note that said, what is great about ID at Xbox is that these 3 games could potentially join Chinatown Detective Agency as part of the Game Pass lineup in the future. And what's even more interesting to me is that Chinatown Detective Agency is actually a game that is published by Humble Games, which is Coral Island's publisher. So that almost makes me feel like it's kind of likely that Coral Island may come to Game Pass if Humble Games is sort of helping make those decisions. It seems like that's something they've done and they may do again with their other games. Again, I do not personally have an Xbox or Game Pass, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do watch like the Xbox presentations and showcases to see the new games, and it does seem like a lot of new games nowadays are on Game Pass and come to Game Pass like day one sometimes. So if you're an Xbox gamer, this does seem like fairly exciting news for you. I'm really curious to know if any of you are actually planning to play Coral Island on Xbox. For me personally, I'm probably only going to be playing it on PC and Switch. For me, when I like to relax and kick back and play a game, I love to play handheld. That's just like a personal choice. So I'm really looking forward to that Switch version. And then the final piece of news that isn't really meaningful, but it's just kind of exciting to see, is that Coral Island is now on the homepage with this beautiful banner, first up, launching October 11th. I love to see this. It looks amazing. You can go wishlist it if you want to, which really helps the team. So I would definitely recommend doing that. So I think that covers everything right now that's out there in the world of Coral Island. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a news roundup. I definitely plan to do more of these types of videos in the future as publicity increases around the game, as early access comes, as we approach those console releases. There's just going to be more and more to talk about, and I'm totally here for it. So as always, I so look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And until next time, take care.